Hi everybody, welcome to Tech Tip Friday. I'm Kurt Staley, that plastics guy, and I'm bringing you a tech tip that you could take to the shop floor with you today. So I'm going to answer a color question that I get asked fairly often, and it really has to do with the use of regrind from parts that already have color in them, and does that really make the next round of parts that you use with that regrind plus your virgin and color concentrate, does it actually make it look better? And the answer is, it depends. I'm sorry, I can't give you a more definitive answer, but let's lay it out a little bit. If you are using consistent base resin between the regrind and what you're trying to mold now, and your color concentrate is from the same manufacturer supplier in the regrind as it is with what you're trying to do with your virgin and the color you're using now to run, well, you're more than likely going to get the same color outcome. In some base resins, you have to be careful, and I'm thinking of things like nylons and ABS that can actually vary in what we call yellowness index from the producer. And I'm sure you've all seen ABS. Think back to the old Cycolac days of GE, where that ABS was very much in the yellow, like almost like a, I want to say French vanilla ice cream, or even a little bit more yellow than that. Some of it perhaps like butter almost. And then you look at some other ABSs and they have a much more neutral color to them. So if you're not introducing that variable, and please don't, if you have color concentrate developed for a certain base resin, you change your base resin, hey, you're going to get into problems with how your color accuracy on your molded part. So let's assume everything's the same, base resin and color concentrate supplier. Remember what colorant is. You're taking solid pigments and dispersing them, compounding them into a pellet for use. You know, it's your plastics processing equipment. When you make your original part, that solid, you know, the solids, the pigments have dispersed into that part and you've got your color. If you regrind that part and introduce the regrind to your next lot, ignoring what any heat history could do to the pigments, we're going to assume you processed everything within tolerance and your part looked good on the first pass. If you put that back into production, you are introducing colorant that's been dispersed. You could call it pre-dispersed, I suppose, but it's had one level of dispersion. So you are going to potentially get better color. Now, if you have 2% regrind, it's probably negligible. If you're running 10, 20, 30% regrind or 100% regrind, well, you're going to see a pretty decent part. And again, it's just, it had one, not just heat history, but a dispersion history. I think I may have just coined a new term. So if you're running regrind that's colored, yes, you may see an improvement in the color and how it covers, that's dispersion. But the actual color in terms of how it measures in color space, that should be very consistent. If you're seeing it wander, then, you know, specifically if it's lighter, then you may have to add some colorant on your next pass, even if you're running 100% regrind. If you're running 10% regrind, 20% regrind, please mix color concentrate with virgin resin at the recommended letdown if it's 2, 3, 4%, whatever the case. So I hope that answers a commonly asked question. Yes, adding regrind from the same color you're trying to mold can very well help to give you better color. Sometimes. At any rate, I hope you have a fantastic Friday. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back next Friday when we address another tech tip on a Friday. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.